Hey guys, okay, this is coffee time with Lisa today. I am outside because we are in the process of moving and my son is using the computer and I wanted to get this out to you today. So if you hear some noise in the background with neighbors playing, dogs barking, someone's mowing the yard. It was really quiet when I first came out here. And now, of course, everyone in the neighborhood has decided to come outside. So if you hear any of that, I do apologize, but this is kind of what happens in real life in the summertime, right? So coffee chat with Lisa. Let me grab my coffee. And here we go. Today I'm answering your 3 top questions that have come in over the last couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks since I have done a coffee chat with Lisa because we were in New York City last week. The week before that, we're just getting prepared and prepped, ready to move. So I'm excited to bring this to you today. So here is one of our questions is why can't I lose weight? So this is a big one. There's lots of different reasons and factors that go into play on weight loss and fat loss. And so we're going to talk about them today. So a lot of things, obviously, like I said, go into play with this. It could be your hormones. Are they balanced or are they unbalanced? It could be what you're eating or not eating. It could be how much exercise you're doing or maybe not enough movement. It can be sleep. It can be stress. It can be a whole slew of things, and it could be all of those things packaged together as well. So when we're talking about wanting to lose weight, the first thing I want to say to you is, one, you're probably not eating enough. And I know that sounds counterintuitive. Almost everyone that comes to me, my clients that work with me, think I am crazy when I say they need to eat more food. They feel like they are eating enough, but when we actually start tracking their food and tracking their macros, they really aren't eating enough food. So number 1 would be you probably need to increase your nutrition intake. But that being said, it can't be things like that are processed foods, right? It needs to be whole foods, meaning things that grow from the ground, meaning proteins, carbohydrates, fats, things like that. If you're unsure of what those things are, check out my podcast on What Are Macros, it's titled, and that will break down the proteins, carbs, and fats for you so that you can learn more about that. But that is definitely number 1, is you're just probably not eating enough food. For so long, you've probably been in a deficit because you've been on a diet, and your body needs a break from that. Your body needs some more nutrition. It needs some more fuel so that it does feel comfortable losing that weight. Because if you're constantly in a really deep deficit, your body eventually will just stop losing weight because it doesn't like being in that much of a deficit for that long of a time. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, I would encourage you to check out your movement. Are you moving throughout the day? How many steps are you getting in? Are you working out? What does that look like? Okay. I would also encourage you to check out your hormones. Are they balanced? Are they not balanced? I know for myself, coming into my 40s, my hormones were not balanced, and I knew that because I was having like mood swings. I was getting like kind of like hot flashes, but not exactly hot flashes. I just wasn't feeling my best. I was getting really bad cramps during my cycle, things like that were just not normal for me. And I knew that needed to change because, again, so many people think that just because it's common, it's normal, and that's not the case. Just because having a heavy cycle and having cramps and having night flashes or hot flashes and night sweats might be common, that does not mean it's normal, okay? So I fixed all that myself through proper nutrition and exercise. So I balanced my own hormones without any medicine, without anything like that, just by eating properly, getting my body to feel its best through proper, again, exercise and nutrition that my body needs during the stage that I'm in right now. It's not what I did when I was 20, and it's probably not what I'm going to do when I'm 55, but it's what I need right now when I'm 42 at this stage in my life. And then you also want to check your sleep and your stress, because if you're not sleeping well, it's hard for your body to lose weight. Your body does need rest in order to recover and lose weight, but also stress plays a big factor in that. So are you stressed out about a lot of things? Maybe you need to focus on some stress relieving techniques. You can check that out in a podcast that I just did a few episodes ago, talk about stress relieving techniques and how to have a positive mindset. So that will help you on that front. All right, we are moving into question number 2, which was I don't like to cook and too busy to follow recipes. Okay, so this is one I do hear not a lot, but it is sort of common, I guess, among people. I probably get it out of everyone that messages me, every handful of messages I get something like this that says, I don't like to cook, I'm too busy to follow recipes, so I don't know how I'm going to eat healthy. Eating healthy does not mean that you have to cook a recipe that's detailed. Eating healthy does not mean you need to be making a fresh recipe every single day for every single meal, and it takes hours on end to create. That's not what that means, okay? What eating healthy means is knowing what works for your body and then eating those things. Here's an example for you. Say your family loves tacos. Well, what do you normally put in tacos? So normally people do like ground beef with taco seasoning. You'll do like lettuce and cheese on it, and then in a flour tortilla. Okay, well, you're missing a lot of vegetables, right? And also maybe flour tortilla isn't the best option for you. Maybe your body would feel better if you did maybe a corn tortilla, or maybe your body would feel better if you didn't do any flour tortilla. Have a taco salad. Maybe your body feels just fine having that flour tortilla, but you need to amp that taco up with some additional vegetables. So could you roast some peppers and onions to put on there, or even eat them raw? Okay, so again, eating healthy does not mean you have to recreate a new recipe all the time or find some wacky, weird ingredients you're never going to use. It's just taking a second to think about, what do I normally make for me and my kiddos, my family, to eat? How can I make this a little bit healthier? That's all it is. Okay, so that right there is a perfect example. Another example might be spaghetti. If you guys eat like meat sauce, so ground beef with your spaghetti sauce and noodles, an easy way to make that a little bit healthier would be change your noodles up. Could you do whole wheat noodles? Could you do chickpea noodles? Maybe you want to try spaghetti squash. Maybe you could add a side salad to it to bump up the vegetable count on there. Maybe you could try ground turkey or ground chicken for a different kind of protein in there. So there, again, it doesn't have to be hard. You just have to think a little bit of, how can I make this a little healthier? I think that's where people struggle, is that you're not sure how to make it healthier. That's where the recipes and meal plans from Faster Way can come into play. It's not that you have to follow them exactly, it's that it gives you an idea of what a meal should look like, and you can just kind of copy it, okay? All right, and then tip number three that we had, or question number 3, was, why can't I just do cardio to lose weight? So if you've been following me for a while, you know how I feel about this. I've been talking about this. I looked back at my last blog post since 2017. So since 2017, that's still my most highest read blog post, is why cardio will make you fat. And this is why you shouldn't just focus on cardio in order to lose weight, because it works when you're young. Cardio is great for cardiovascular health, right? It strengthens your heart. It strengthens your lung capacity. It is really good for those things. It's not all that great for helping you lose fat and lose weight, especially as you get older. So if you're 42 or in your 40s like me, it's really not your friend anymore, okay? Because when you increase your cardio, so if you do steady state cardio for say an hour every day and you can't figure out why you're not losing weight, it's because when you do cardio places stress on your body. Cortisol levels increase. Cortisol is a fat storing hormone, so you're actually telling your body to store more fat because it's under stress. The other thing cardio does is it raises your hunger level. So if you do steady state cardio for a long period of time, you will notice on those days you're probably more hungry. And that's because it raises that hunger level, having you want to eat more, right? Because you expended more energy. So the best thing that you can do is, if you're wanting to lose weight and you're wanting to lose fat and you are in your 30s or 40s like me, is to start strength training. Yes, I know there are some of you who just are cardio junkies and you cannot give it up, but can you do a leisurely walk then? Instead of pounding the pavement and hurting your joints, can you do a leisurely walk and start strength training? If you can, you are going to notice results very quickly. Your body will change, okay? And you will have a body transformation change, which is what you want. You want that lean muscle. You want your body to change. You want to be stronger, because in our life, we will lose muscle mass, and we want to try to preserve our muscle mass as long as we can, okay? So the other thing is that as we get older, things change in our life, right? Like our kids have to move to college. We're moving. There's an example. We're moving. So at 42, we're moving. And yes, I hired movers, but you still have to move some boxes. You still have to move some furniture around to get to things. I sold a couch, so I had to help move that out. that is a squat and a deadlift is what I'm doing. So if I'm not lifting weights, if I'm not getting strong, how am I supposed to help lift a couch up a stairs from my basement out into somebody's truck, right? Like, how am I going to do that? I probably can't help with that because I'm not strong enough. Or if I can help with that, I'm going to hurt myself. So this is why strength training is so important, not only for the physical aspect, because you're going to look better, you're going to feel better, but also just for general overall health and everyday lifestyle activities of having to move. Example, when I moved my son to college in this mid-August, what are we doing? We're moving furniture again. We're moving beds. We're moving chairs. We're moving refrigerators. So I'm not just going to sit on the sidelines and rely on, other people to move that stuff. I have to help with that too. And so I don't want to be sore the next day. I don't want to hurt myself by doing that. So this is also how you can have these skills so that you can participate in lifestyle things that happen is when you lift weights. So I'm a huge proponent of women lifting weights. If you do not know how to do it, reach out to someone that can help you with it. And if you don't know of anyone, reach out to me. I'm a certified personal trainer, health coach. I have been training women on lifting weights for 15 years. I have been lifting weights myself since I was 5. I'm not even kidding you. I have a really funny story I told on a podcast about how when I was young, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8, I wanted these ankle weights. They were jelly ankle weights that were designed for kids. And it came with an instruction booklet. It might have even came, I think, with a tape. Those of you that are 42 know what I'm talking about. Like a cassette tape that you could play, right, and follow along to, kind of like Jane Fonda thing. Oh my gosh, I was obsessed. I loved it. I think I got it for either my birthday or Christmas. I can't remember. But I absolutely loved it. I did that exercise all the time. I truly love exercise. I love moving my body. I love seeing the change in my body. I love seeing how I can push myself and if I can, lift more weights. I know I'm kind of a weird unicorn in that way. I know most people don't like to exercise. They don't like that feeling. But even if you don't like that feeling, it is still something you need to do in order to help with longevity, in order to help you feel your best, in order to help you be your healthiest. So those were the 3 top questions I got asked the most. I'd love to hear what your question is so that next week I'll be in my new house. I can answer it and maybe show you around. So make sure to leave your questions either below in the comments or shoot me a message so I can help you out. And here is to our coffee. Cheers, friends.